Okay, Doctor, you can start.
All right, thank you very much. So, hi everyone. السلام عليكم، مرحبا في هذه المنصة الرقمية المخصصة لمزايا دراسة الهندسة المعمارية في الجامعة الملكية للبنات بمملكة البحرين الشقيقة. So, good evening everyone. Thank you for being present in this live session from the Kingdom of Bahrain Royal University for Women. In this session, I'm going to share with you some comprehensive information about the Bachelor of Science in Architecture, all right, from the College of Engineering, as what we believe, deeply believe, it is a unique place for women to excel, okay, as it provides the most appropriate environment for women to excel. Myself, I'm Dr. Amine Moulay, an assistant professor at the Royal University for Women and the head of department of the architecture program. I'm from Algeria and mainly lived in France and Malaysia before coming to Bahrain 4 years ago. For those who doesn't know Algeria, actually, if you have followed the latest Football Arab Cup that was held, just the latest one in 2021, well, the winner team was Algeria. Okay, and the next winner team, inshallah, would be Saudi Arabia. It has all the potential to do it. All right. Of course, along my presentation, guys, you can interrupt me at any time. You just send your question, your exclamation, if anything is not clear, ambiguous, you can just stop me and send your question. Let's start with a brief descriptive of RUW, the Royal University for Women from Bahrain. Actually and factually, it is the first private purpose-built international university in the Kingdom of Bahrain, dedicated solely and only to the higher education for women. All right. And the campus actually opened permanently in the region of Rifah. For those who doesn't know it, it's a little bit in the south of Bahrain. In 2006, so it's a pretty young university, but considered 16 years ago, but considered as a real success story in the Gulf and in the Bahrain region. The uniqueness, let's go to this point. Yes, the uniqueness of RUW is that it is an all, as it was mentioned, it is an all-females university. And research actually has shown that when girls are in one environment together, they tend to take full responsibilities on their own and gain leadership skills as well as independency. And to be honest, I've seen it myself. I've seen the difference in so many occasions. For example, when I've taught in mixed universities, I've always received this negative statement from girls about boys. For example, a statement like, boys are better than us in architecture, boys are better than us in construction, boys are better than us in design, etc. And actually, it is due to some cultural and biased beliefs, of course. While in an all-female university, of course, this kind of biases do not and cannot exist, all right? So it's a pretty significant added value from that perspective in a way that promote more confidence for women. Besides, at the College of Engineering, we offer women the tools, knowledge, and skills they need to become excellent designers and contribute to bettering their societies. Most of the time, guys, the best of yourself just need the most appropriate environment. We have seen so many people from the third world where they were labeled maybe a little bit of lazy or not doing so much. When they left to another environment, in the developed countries or other places, all of a sudden they are more successful, more active, and the best of themselves is shown. So it's the same person, it's not a different one, but actually just about the environment. So we believe that a dedicated university for women with special environment to bring the best of yourself, if you want, okay? So it's a significant also added value to join RUW. Now, before going further on what is unique and a significant added value to join RUW, let's start with a simple question, if you don't mind, all right? Of course, your presence here means that you have some interest, isn't it? In design, in architecture, in the built environment. So my question to you is, what is the dream by joining the architecture program? And at the same time, what are your fears in terms of not being able to achieve or handle by joining this program? Okay, يعني, from one side, what are the incentives? What do you like in architecture? Why you want to do it? And what do you think from your own perspectives about the obstacles? So guys, if you can just share your thought, it will help me a lot to understand really what you are expecting, your needs, and maybe correcting some biases related to the field of architecture and to studying architecture. It would be great. So just why? I mean, what is the dream? Why you want to do this? Why you want to do architecture? Why you want to study architecture? At the same time, do you have any fears? Maybe I cannot handle it due to this and that. I'm lacking this and that. All right, guys? So please be active with me and let me know what are your fears and the incentive also about doing this. To secure a good job, yes, that's wonderful. This is a very interesting incentive, and we're going to see through the program, because I'm going to explain the main points. You're going to see that it opens for you a variety of professional placements, okay, which increase your chances to secure, as you mentioned it here, to secure a good job. Now, Yani, I've received a lot of students, new students and their parents, and sometimes you can see in them that they really like architecture. And of course, we cannot not like in architecture. I mean, everything, when you see it around you, you are in a house, you go to the university, you are in a building, you go to a mall, you are in a building, you see everywhere, it's a built environment. Architecture is everywhere. It's so exciting. And having the possibility to bring your significant value to your society, to the city, it's something very exciting. But this is why I'm asking this question. These fresh students and their parents, sometimes they express some fears in terms of maybe I cannot catch up, maybe it's so difficult. So I want to hear from you also about this, if you don't mind. Bring some new idea of design to life. Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. We're going to see through these short presentation, we're going to see how powerful architecture is and design is, okay? To be special in my major more than my colleagues. All right. Oh, that's wonderful also. Yes. So the first one from Siham, I think we got it. And now from Manar, to be special in my major more than my colleagues. So it looks very fine, but do you mean being better in architecture or compared to other fields? What do you mean, Manar? And also for the others at the same time, do you have any fears? Do you have any preconceptions about the field of architecture? Maybe you need to be a genius in mathematics, or you need to be this and that. So can you just share with me some fears if you have, some preconceptions? Any other question? Any other, can you share other feelings also regarding to the field of architecture? For example, sometimes, I mean, some very interesting profile of students, yani they express their love for participating in shaping the built environment. They want to be a professional of the built environment. Like you mentioned here, we heard, yes, I'm coming, Manal, I'm coming. So all majors, yes, Manar, all right, yes, yes, of course. So being an architect, and you're going to see in the opportunities it opens, of course, it opens a wider opportunities compared to others. I mean, it's everything is evolving in life, isn't it? Motion meaning life, static meaning death. So everything is moving. Motion is about everything, including architecture. So the architect of the past is not the architect of the future, of course. Okay, so there are some evolving aspects in the field of architecture. It's not about just designing or being architect. It opens so many other perspectives, and we're going to see some of them. So yes, Manal, I do agree with you. Manar, I do agree with you. For Manal, I'm seeing that we heard it is hard to study. And more than that, I mean, if you hear other, other impressions about the field of architecture, at a certain moment, you're going to say, well, I think it's just for geniuses, which is totally a misconception about studying architecture. Do you need to be an artist? Do you need to be, I'm answering now similar question like the one of Manal, okay? It's hard, it's hard. Do you need to be a genius in design? Do you need to be artist? Do you need to be genius in mathematics, physics? Actually, all of these preconceptions are just, and allow me, sorry for being straightforward, are just wrong, okay? When you open your eyes on wonderful, outstanding buildings, architecture all over the world, when you see this complexity, the architect who did it didn't have the idea of this complexity since the beginning. Not at all. It's just a process, a wonderful design process. How you should think, how you should gather information, and how you should translate them in terms of design, and then like a baby, it's going to grow up, this idea to become something beautiful, wonderful, and sometimes like you are seeing something complex. So do you need to be genius? No. Being genius is an added value for all the disciplines, okay? But do you need it? Not at all. Do you need to have some skills in terms of design, artistic drawings, etc.? Not at all, because you're going to learn from the beginning. And honestly, compared to the past, the old, the previous view on architecture, now we are in the forefront of the fourth industrial revolution with all the digital tools, etc. So it's more about softwares and these designs. You don't have to be this designer or this, I mean, these skills to have them since the beginning, because you're going to learn the basics, and it's related also to digital softwares. Okay, so it's a common, universal language. You're going to be. So Manal, you are right. A lot of preconceptions about these, that it is very hard, but actually in terms of skills, what I'm saying, in terms of skills, you don't have to have some special skills. The only thing you need to have is, like I'm seeing here through the chat, that you like this discipline. You like cities, and you like bringing your touch and your footprint to these cities. Okay? So thank you very much for this lovely interaction. I'm not seeing others. So I hope now you have a more clear idea. Now, in terms of hard, if you are saying hard in terms of you need to work, to spend time, well, of course, if you want to develop yourself and gain these skills of design, of course, you need to work. I mean, it's not by just sitting in the couch and watching TV that you're going to have these skills. So, and I believe for any successful one, all of you are seeking this success. Success has a price in anything. Even if you do something simple, I mean, I don't know, some small project you want to launch it, you need to focus on it, follow it, etc. Spend a lot of effort. So of course, I mean, spending effort in the discipline is requested, and not only in architecture. But do you need a skills to get inside? It's not. It's really a misconception that we see it, that we hear about it in so many places. All right. So thank you very much for this interaction. Let's go a little bit further. All right. Yes. So as I said, all what you need, I mean, to join and to be successful in architecture is to have this passion for cities, for design. Now, this is the first thing. The second important thing about architecture is that I want you just to listen it a little bit, because it might seem a little bit complex, but it's deep and it means a lot of things. What is architecture? You're going to find a lot of definitions, but the most comprehensive one that really reflects the core and the soul of this discipline is this one. Architecture is the physical projection of a given culture, values, and social needs. Okay, so in any society, the Saudi society, the Western, the Eastern, the South, the North, there are some cultures. Okay, there are precise cultures, values, and social needs. Okay, what an architect do is to translate these needs, this culture, physically. Okay, this is why when you are visiting different countries, you're going to see and discover different architectures. Okay, because it is due to this is the core of architecture. You translate given culture, given values, and given social needs. This is what you have to do. By consequence, the perfect profile of a good architect is the one who is sensitive to the multiculturalism aspect of societies. Okay? And it's pretty difficult to achieve such high level of sensitivity regarding these multiculturalism aspect and people needs if, I'm sorry to be direct, straightforward here, if all you know is your home, your parents, and the region you're living in. You don't have a wider spectrum. Okay, so you have to explore different places and different people at the same time. This will enlarge your vision about people, about their needs, having multiple views in terms of culture, background, etc. It is very helpful, okay, for your personality and for the discipline of architecture. And it's amazing, but this is why even, if we mention it just as an example, from religious perspective, for example, if you go to the Quran, for example, we have verses, amazing verses. For example, قُلْ سِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ ثُمَّ انظُرُوا, discovering new people, new culture. يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسُ إِنَّا خَلَقْنَاكُم مِّن ذَكَرٍ وَأُنثَى وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلَ, different people, لِتَعَارَفُوا, Okay, so discovering new people, new cultures. هو الذي جعل لكم الأرض ذلولا فامشوا في مناكبها. Moving. As I told you in the beginning, motion is life. Static is death. Okay, so it's always an added value to discover new cultures, new people, new area, etc. Okay, so all these, for example, all these divine verses and so many others are here to highlight the importance of multiculturalism and getting familiar with different cultures, values, and knowing different people. And to be honest, Yani, most of the conflict in the world is about people not knowing others, okay? Because by definition, as human beings, we are the enemies of what we don't know, okay? So having this opportunity to discover cultures and new peoples and new values, etc., is always an added value. Okay, so and yes, and it happens that these skills, these values, are crucial for a good architect as well, because as a future architect, you have to translate, as I mentioned, by the definition of architecture, you have to translate these different cultures, values, and people needs in terms of built environment. This is why you have different architecture and styles all over the world. Cities in Saudi Arabia are different from cities in Japan, Vancouver, Adelaide, Hamburg, okay? And the issue is that they have to, okay? These differences, are they good? Of course, they have to, if you want to respect the different cultures, values, and different human needs, okay? And this is also, yes, why the kingdom, this is why the kingdom of Bahrain is also a perfect multicultural hub. You're going to see different nationalities, different people coming from all over the world. And the advantage, of course, is that it is too close to Saudi Arabia. So it's a perfect place for studying architecture, as it might sound. Because going abroad, discovering new culture is good, but personally, I will be a little bit reluctant by sending my daughter to a far country, Japan, Australia, but knowing that it's so close, well, it's more reassurant for us, okay? بتطمئن أكثر, all right? So this is also an added value and a need. It's something that is a real added value in the profile of the architect. But let me ask you a question. Can you think about some reasons on why should you join an all-females university like RUW to study architecture? I mean, you all know now that the importance of multiculturalism, the benefits of the added value of multiculturalism in studying architecture, and how Bahrain is a perfect hub and close to Saudi Arabia. But why, or what would be the added value from your own perspective of joining an all-female university? What do you think? Just express. It's a brainstorming. There's no a right and a wrong idea. So just what comes to your mind. What do you think? What could be? I mean, what could be? What could be an added value? Let me just see these in the chat. Thank you, Manal. So yes, guys, I mean, any idea that comes to you? I mean, when you question yourself, I mean, you know, going to the graduation to the university, it's about always questioning things, okay? So if you decide to join an all-female university, what could be the added value for you? A more, yes, Siham, a more focused environment, This is one thing, and we explain it a little bit. It is significant, guys. It is significant because you're going to grow by adding more confidence to yourself compared to the a mixed environment. And I mentioned some aspects, some studies that are highlighting why, but there are so many other perspectives. It's really interesting. It's really interesting. So a more focused environment. Thank you very much. But actually, there is another thing also. There's another thing, guys. Let me try to simplify it. How we can explain it. The Royal University for Women in Bahrain, as an all-females university, is a perfect place to be more sensitive to the gender issue and its repercussion in terms of building cities. Guys, as I told you, what is architecture is about is a physical projection. You're going to translate values, culture, and human needs, isn't it, into a physical aspect. So what is better than a female architect to translate the female needs in the built environment? Okay? I mean, let's be honest, guys. There is no discrimination when we say that women have different needs compared to men in cities in terms of public spaces, for example, leisure places, and architecture as a whole. It's quite normal. It's quite normal. So who would be better than you, future female architect, that were educated in an environment that sensitizes its student to the gender issue, to the female needs, to how to empower women in the society? It's the best profile. Okay, so because in RUW, in addition to the curriculum of architecture, you're going to be always exposed to some workshops, some seminars, webinars, debate related to the gender issue. It's not a fight against men, guys. It's not the idea. It's not the feminist fight that we are bringing from the West. It doesn't have any relationship with that. It's within a respectful environment, respectful environment between genders, okay? But we want to empower women. And as architecture is a very strong tool to empower women, so it translates values and needs in the society in terms of building. So who is better than you, future female architect, to translate these needs? All right. So this is also a significant, positive, added value on why it is very interesting to join RUW. Okay. I wanted to highlight this point because it's very interesting. Let me go next, what we have. Yes. Now, guys, I'm going to be brief, but I'm going to tell you just what are the main focus, because I started telling you that you don't need to be genius in mathematics and design and in art, etc. But what are the main things you're going to learn, which are different compared to other disciplines, and it will bring to you, it will add to you a huge, significant added value in the professional world, because it's a way of thinking, okay? So let's see just a few points, and the main thing you're going to learn in this program. Let's focus further on what you will do in architecture, okay? First, the most confusing question for all fresh students in architecture is that, do we practice art or design in architecture? So guys, what do you think? What do you think in architecture? Are you going to do art or are you going to do design? What do you think? As I told you, there's no wrong or right answer. I want to see the preconceptions about the field. I want to elucidate it to you, if you don't mind. More design, I think, okay? Is everyone agree? Art and design for Saja. Okay, so we have different, another opinion. Okay, what do you think? There's no one who is saying it's about art. See, architecture, art. So there's no one who is saying maybe it's about art. It's confusing, guys. It's not only for you, believe me. So anyone who joined the design team or the art team or both? It's very interesting. It's very interesting when I see this this differentiation, how you are seeing it. So let me give you just an answer about that. Okay, we are having another interaction here. It is confusing. Yes, Manal, it's quite normal. It's quite normal. It's quite normal. But now I want you to focus with me because it's really interesting. Focus with me, guys. Art is about beauty and aesthetic. This is art. And this is why it is very subjective. Okay? So what is beautiful for you, Manal, Saja, maybe is ugly for me. It's very subjective. It's about beauty and art and aesthetic. But design is something universal. It's about functionality plus aesthetic. But the key word, it's about design. And in design, we have art, like it was mentioned now by you. But mostly, not mostly, but most importantly, we have the functionality also. What does it mean, functionality? Functionality, it means that you take in consideration the real expectations and human need in your outcome, in your product. So when you do a building, the objective is not that people will pass through and say, oh, this is nice, this is wonderful, this is beautiful. It's not only about that. It's just one part. The most important thing is that it should be functional. It should fit their needs and expectations. Okay? I mean, you are in a villa, you are in your home, and you feel very comfortable. You go to other places, luxurious, and you don't feel this comfort. It's about functionality. Let me give you just a funny example, and I want you to reflect about it, okay? The human being, okay? Our face. Let's just see an example about our face. The divine creation, God's creation, is with high level of design, which means the functionality is there and the aesthetic is there. And even for artists, for designers, where they want to get some inspiration for their project, they follow the divine creature. They see the nature, and they get inspired. So let's take the face of human being. Okay, it's a divine creature, or design. And let's say we want, let's say it's just aesthetic. But we want to prove now the functionality of it. Okay, so let's imagine your nose will be down and your mouth will be instead of your nose. We're going to switch both, just for the sake of the imagination. Okay, let's see. Imagine it that the face of human being, your face, you have your nose down below your mouth, and your mouth comes up here instead of your nose. And as I told you, the aesthetic is subjective. So if people used to see that mouth is here and nose is down, with time, it will be aesthetic for them. Okay, so it's not about aesthetic. But is there any problem in terms of functionality? What do you think, guys? Is there any problem, functionality, which means it fits your needs? Would you have any problem to eat, for example, if we switch these? What do you think? I'll make it now straightforward. Would you have a problem from functionality perspective? Would you have a problem to eat? What do you think, guys? If we just switch it, the nose goes down and the mouth goes up here. So you take the spoon, instead of putting it here, you're going to put in it here. What do you think, guys? No, yes, it's good, Manala, but let's say the nose is not moving. It just in the design, it's another place. It's here, and the mouth is here. So instead of bringing the spoon here in your mouth, you're going to bring it here, a little bit upper. That's all, Yani. What is the problem? Maybe it will be hard as nose will be moving. Yes. So do you think it's from functional perspective? Huh? You will have a problem for eating, for example? Just for the sake of the time, I'm going to accelerate a little bit. Guys, it is super functional, the position. Maybe, Saja, yes, maybe. Now see, when you take your spoon in the normal design, you're going to bring it here to your mouth to eat. Before you put the food inside your mouth, you're going to smell it. It just before you put it inside, you're going to smell it. Maybe it's an expired food, poison, something wrong with it. You have an alert, isn't it? So this is the message of architecture and design also. Beauty, aesthetic, is the functionality is beautiful. The architecture product is functional and beautiful at the same time. And most of the time, being functional, meaning it is beautiful, okay? So the mouth, when you see a perfect design, it is in the right place. You cannot move it left, right, up. It is in the right place. And this is the level of design you're going to reach. Okay? Siham, don't think so. What do you mean? Don't think so about what? I'm sorry, I need to accelerate. But Siham, if you have something clear, you can say it. You don't agree with this example, or what is it, Siham? Think about it, okay? Think about it. All right. Let me go. So this is the first one. So we do design. We don't do art. We do design in architecture. The second thing that you're going to learn in the discipline of architecture, what is it? It's about, you will learn the design thinking process. I'm seeing just a chart. I mean, no problem in functionality. Yes. But the example that I gave you, Siham, just now is that if the mouth is up and the nose is down, from functional perspective, you're going to bring food here to your mouth, but you are not going to smell any problem in it. If it's an old food or a poison one or smelling not good, you will not have this alert. So it's functional to have the right position. Okay? It's just a thought-provoking idea. You can think about it. But thank you very much. Thank you very much for your interaction. Now, yes, the second thing, very important thing you're going to learn is the design thinking process. This is what I told you. When you see complexity outside, actually, it didn't come in the first idea. It's a process of thinking. So it's a crucial and a vital way of thinking to any future leader as well. Okay, it's good for architecture, for leadership, for success in life. This design thinking process is just wonderful, that you're going to learn and master throughout the years. Okay, it's not something that you take from a book, learn it, and you have it. No, you need to train on it. It's important to know that for design discipline, what is design? It's a problem-solving discipline. Okay. So we have problem, we solve problems in a systematic way of thinking, okay? This is what we do through design, okay? Even someone, I mean, for a smallest project, like a villa, you have a future customer that comes to you, do for me a villa, design for me a villa, it's a problem. This is what we do in design. We are dealing with problems and we resolve them, okay? So how many people are gonna live there, what kind of culture, what kind of habit they have, what are the best spaces that are going to make them happy, feeling good inside their home, etc. it's a combination of multiple parameters and variables, the outcome will be wonderful. I'm gonna give you just an example, guys, that really happened, just to see this design thinking process. Sometimes it happens that there's a super rich guy who comes and wanted to design its dream villa. Okay, so he said, I want a villa like the Beverly Hills one. You know, the Beverly Hills villas and this outstanding villas for celebrities and superstar movies, etc. You know them, isn't it? So they are very luxurious villas, etc. So he said, I have the money and I want to do something similar. Okay, this guy is from a conservative country. Okay, let's say here in the Gulf. So you, as a designer, as a future architect, you know that it's not as easy as that. You need to do some tests for him. So there are some developed tools. So you do something similar. You know, this open spaces. This is what is it about the Beverly Hills? It's a Western, purely 100% Western villa. So, okay, it's open spaces between the kitchen and the living room. Sometimes from the living room, you can see the bathroom, etc. So this is the design of these Beverly Hills, the luxurious villas. So we did for him the design, and hopefully we have these digital tools and these softwares. You can live, you can see, you can visualize your project, your future project, before building it. So we gave him, come on, sir, pay a visit to your future villa. He get inside in this digital form, the digital software. So, and he started seeing the living room, that's wonderful, and it's totally open to the kitchen. Then he said, well, I have a lot of guests. When the guests come, they're gonna see my family in the kitchen or close. It doesn't work for me, so put a wall there. All right, from the living room, I can see the bathroom, put a wall there. And he started, put a wall, put a wall, put a wall. Then we explained to him that you're gonna feel comfortable, not in a Beverly Hills villa, but in a villa that fit your needs and expectations and respect your culture, okay? So you can translate these ideas through the design thinking process. All right, I hope it's clear. If you have any question, please ask it, no problem. So the design thinking process is so important. In the business, even in the business world, guys, because there are a highly competitive world in the business world, isn't it? And now the key issue is about creativity, innovation, etc. Now these business institutions, they are referring to the design thinking process also, okay? And this is why we have new majors since just a decade. For example, we have this design management, for example, which is a little bit more developed than the MBA, the normal MBA for business, because you learn the design thinking process. Now for you, future architect and designer, this design thinking process will be totally normal for you. You're going to master it. You're going to learn it. All right. And this design process is about, it's about empathizing with the others. It's not sympathizing, guys. Sympathizing, you see something, he's in a difficult situation, you're just going to say, oh, the poor guy, let's help him, etc. No, this is sympathizing. You, in the design thinking process, you're going to empathize. What does it mean? Empathizing is about putting yourself in his or her shoes. So you're going to think like her. You're going to grasp her or his real needs and expectations. This is the design thinking process. It's very interesting and very exciting. All right. The third thing, and this is the last one, the third thing you're going to master in architecture is to, you will learn about improving your level of eloquence Communication, yes. Eloquence, it's very important, guys. Not only for, it's important for architecture, but you're going to see that it's important for you in your life. It's going to make the difference between a successful guy and a normal, a regular guy. Okay? Eloquence, communications. It's a training that you're going to have, of course. It's going to come naturally. So to become an architect, a person, you will learn how to, yes, you will learn how to present design, because your project, your future project, you're going to present them, okay? Smoothly, you're going to start. I mean, literally, we had some student in the first year, and not one or two, a great percentage of them, when they want to express, to describe their project, they did the project at the end of the year, then they want to explain it, they were literally shaking, fears about talking. And after that, if you can see them now, after the third year, it becomes something natural for them. It's a very significant added value. Let me give you an example that is happening in the reality. Let's say there are two fresh graduating architects, okay? You went to the same university, there is Sarah and there is Milef, okay? You have the same, there's Sarah and Milef, you have the same education, you have the same training of architecture, you have the same skills, okay? You went to the same company. After 5 years, Sarah remained a simple designer and Milef became a top manager. What could be the difference, guys? I'm just seeing the time, I need to hurry, but I wanted to have this debate for you. It's so exciting, but the main difference is that it's about the eloquence. Milef can express herself, can communicate, defend her project, and Sarah cannot. She's just designing. This is what would make the difference. I'll give you just a small example that happened to me in Paris, in France. I was in an international firm, architecture firm, and there is the senior architect, an Italian one. I was working with him. He told me to prepare a project. I did it, which I believe it was wonderful from my perspective. I was very young, it's 15 or 20 years ago. Then when I gave it to him, and then I could see in his face that it was not that satisfactory. Why? Then with his accent, Italian accent, he said, Amine, my name, Amin. He said, Amine, architecture is 50% design and 50% la chacha. Do you have any clue about what is it, la chacha? What do you think? La chacha is about communication. Okay, so this is also an important skill that you're going to learn and develop. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. I'm going to skip a little bit. Right. I'm seeing. No, yes, Seda. So it's about the communication. Okay, this is what you're going to learn also. Expressing your thought in an eloquent way. Okay, presenting your idea. Sometimes you have people, most of the time, they have idea, but they don't express them. You're going to learn to express your idea. Okay, it's really a changing discipline for a person. Now, let me just go. It will help you to be competitive in the professional world. I'm going to be quick here. It's not about only the analog skills, it's about also the digital skills. So you're going to learn some softwares like the 3D Max, AutoCAD, the Revit, etc. So it's up-to-date program curriculum. You will learn in your project, you're going to have some examples as real project. For example, there is the Ministry of Education who is launching a housing project. So in the year 4, you're going to experience a real life project, which is a significant added value for you and for your portfolio. And it will enhance your level to become more articulate, okay? The meaning of becoming, of being an architect. This is also, you need to understand it, guys. Becoming an architect is to have the privilege, listen to me guys, to have the privilege and the power to shape the built environment. So if this is your dream, RUW is providing you with a unique place for women to exceed. I'll give you just a small example. Architecture, as I told you, is very, very powerful tool. I'll give you an example. I told you I'm from Algeria. So we were invaded by French nearly 2 centuries ago. And Algeria used to be a conservative, very conservative society, okay? And the French guy, in the beginning, the first decades, they wanted to destroy the identity, because if they destroy the identity of people, the local people, they can invade them in a more easier way, okay? They try everything, change the education. They even went to the Quran and tried to burn it, but it changed nothing, zero, nada. What they did before, after, they used the tool of architecture. And this is, as I told you, it's a very powerful tool. So just think about it. If architecture is the projection of a given culture, a given values, the reverse of the equation is very dangerous. So through architecture, you can promote different cultures, different values, okay? It's a long and deep idea, but we don't have time to see it now, but architecture is a very powerful tool. So if you want to boost your creativity, to impact cities and people, diversify your career opportunities, the Bachelor of Science in Architecture in the Royal University for Women, because it's a special environment to boost, to empower women, is here for you, guys, okay? The program, it's a, the program, so let's see just an overview, a quick one. It's a 5-year program, takes you through an exciting academic journey. It's in English, and you have 169 credit hours through the 5 years. So in total, you're gonna have 53 courses, so through the 5 years, all right? The distribution of the courses, you have some liberal art courses that will help you to understand further the architecture. You have some fundamentals. The fundamentals, you're going to start with them in the beginning, in the first year. So literally how to start designing, from how to handle a pen, okay? This is why I told you don't have to be a designer and a Picasso to do that, okay? You're going to learn basics step by step, okay? And you have the major requirement like the design. So every year and every semester you have a design course, okay? So it's a practical way to design project. You're going to start from the small, simple one until the more complex one. It's very exciting and interesting. In terms of job opportunities, you have a variety of job opportunities, okay? So it covers both the public and the private sectors. You have the choice. It can be in ministries, banks. As an architect, you can work as an architect, as a landscape architect, as an interior designer, as an urban designer, an urban planner, so it's a bigger scale. You can work in restoration and renovation. You know, these old buildings and you want to preserve. You can do project manager. Guys, the project management, for example, is something very, very, very important in the professional world. In the you have the, you know, the multinational companies. They have a lot of projects and they hire project manager, isn't it? Now, who is better than an architect to handle the project of architecture? So you're going to learn skills on how to manage the schedule, the timing, the budget, etc. You're going to have some knowledge about that, which open for you a variety of job opportunities. Of course, you can open your own office of architecture, doing some following of buildings in the construction fields, a variety of architecture. In addition, professional activity. In addition to the curriculum of architecture, in RUW, you have multiple extracurricular activities. So you have some workshops, webinars, seminars that help you to develop further skills. Okay, and in a funny way, okay, in a funny way. So for example, you're going to learn how to master the time management, the storytelling skills, how to elevate, to practice your communication, to do some academic trip to the world-class cities, because, you know, when you learn about a project and when you visit this project, it's another impression, okay? You're going to learn the most updated softwares. For example, in Bahrain, it was done the first time in 2019, for the first time, doing a workshop on CityCAD. It is not taught in all the universities. I believe in Saudi Arabia, there's only one university who give this workshop. So we are updated in terms of digital knowledge and soft skills, which are the future, of this fourth industrial revolution, coming revolution, okay? So we empower you with these skills that you're gonna need in the future world. In terms of facilities, it's a very large campus, You have a lot of facilities. And there is the student center office that's gonna help you in organizing different activities. You have sports centers, you can do celebrations, workshops, carnivals, joyful events, international exchange programs. Sometimes you go just for 10 days, 1 month in a university in the state or in Europe, okay, just to see their environment and come back, this exchange program. We have it from the West Virginia University. So some of our students went there, and some of their students came to our university for a short period of time just to experience the campus, okay? The facilities, you have so many, Olympic swimming pool, gym, nice library, cafeteria. So it's, you know, university is one of the best time of your life. So it's not only about studying. It is studying, but with fun, okay? So we have also dorms in our university, inside the university, very nice dorms also, okay? So of course, for females only. Now, in terms of admission requirement, guys. So, of course, a successful completion of secondary education, high school, in the Kingdom of Bahrain or in Saudi Arabia. You just need to have, attested by the Minister of Education. Students should come from the science track in high school, okay, with a minimum average of 60% in mathematics and physics. So it's not, this is why I told you, we don't need a genius in math, just 60%. And if it's below 60%, you have another solution, which is about in the first semester, you're going to take a LAR, it's a course of mathematics that's going to empower this gap, okay? You need to have a minimum level of language, of English, okay? So it's either 5.5 IELTS, TOEFL, it's 513, or 183 in the computer-based, okay? Or we have a placement, an English placement inside the university. So you do the test in the university, it is accepted. Now, if the level, it's not having this minimum requirement, what is the solution? Is that there is, if the applicant fails to successfully provide the above, then she would be required to enroll on the RUW orientation program. So we do have for 1 semester a reinforcement of the English language, okay? So it is not an obstacle, guys. It is not, the language, it is not an obstacle. Either you have this minimum or you're gonna learn it inside the university, all right? The tuition fees and the scholarships that we have. So it's 190 Bahraini dinar for the credit, and you have a total of 169 credit over the 5 years. Applicant, it's a promotion that we are doing now. Applicant who register early, they are eligible for a partial scholarship. So 30% of the total amount of your fees will be handled by the university. So you have this 30% for the early bird registration. So 2-3 weeks maximum. Now, in addition to that, if you have a very high score of education, 90% and above, it opens to you for further scholarships. It is not guaranteed. This 30% is guaranteed if you register within these 2-3 weeks. But you have also other scholarships, but they have some requirement and they are not guaranteed. But if you have 90% scores and above, of course, you will be eligible for it. All right, guys, so these are the contact for the university. And if you have any question, let's say this is a Q&A session now. If you have any question about the different point I raised here, I hope it was, I could convey to you the excitement of this discipline and the particularity of doing it in RUW, an all-female university. So you have the contact here, guys, and now it's a Q&A session. If you have any question, guys, please go ahead, let me know. Something it's ambiguous, it's not clear for you, يعني شيء ما هو واضح. Of course, you can write in English or in Arabic. You can understand both, there's no problem. Just go ahead, guys. Any question that comes to you. For the different points that I mentioned, are they clear? Yes, yes, of course, Siham, yes. You have the contact here of the university, and let me put it here. Yes, I'm writing it here. Okay. I hope you can see it, yes? So A Moulay, ruw.edu.bh for Bahrain. Of course, if you have any, maybe some question will comes later on, you can ask. So this is my email. Thank you for asking, Saja. Any other question, guys? I really like your interaction, guys. You have the potential. You have the potential to do it. I really hope I can see you with us. It's really a particular environment that will, I hope, change your life to the best, to the better. Okay? It's because university is not about just gaining knowledge. If this is the objective, you just go open a YouTube and take knowledge. Okay? It's really a training. It's about changing a mindset. It's a lifestyle. And during these 5 years, hopefully you're going to see opportunities coming to you. Okay. So as I told you, the complexity that you are seeing it outside, actually it's just about a design thinking process that you're going to learn and master. Thank you. Thank you very much, Manal. So few minutes, if you have any question, guys, please let me know. We had so many questions during the presentation, guys. Yes, so, and you interacted with me in a very beautiful way. I really like it. But if you have other things, some concern, for example, you can share them now.
Thank you very much, Doctor. I think it was really amazing and interactive webinar today. And I believe the attendees were really engaging. So I would like also to thank you people for being with us today, and thank you also for sharing your email, doctors. I'm sure maybe some more ideas or questions they will have, they will reach to you directly.
Yes, yes, indeed, yes. Thank you very much for organizing this wonderful live session, and thank you guys for being so active and sharing your thoughts. Hope to see you soon. Bye bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.